My name is Rob Green. I'm the author of a book called Turning Wounds into Wisdom, Living a Conscious Life with PTSD. And today I want to talk about addiction. Addiction is something I'll be covering in my book, and I think this is something that happens to a lot of us who have had traumatic experiences or have had to cope with an emotionally traumatic experience, and the aftermath of that experience is not really sitting well with us. Typically, we fall into a pattern of addiction when we experience a moment. Now, what does that mean? If you think about something, especially in terms of substances or acts, like for example, like gambling addiction, sex addiction, those kind of things, the act gives us an amount of pleasure. Like if I'm addicted to gambling, then maybe there was a time I was gambling and I walked out, when I won 10 times more money than I started with, and it gave me a really, really happy, uplifted, excited kind of feeling. Same with sex. If it gives you a very pleasurable, euphoric kind of feeling, then obviously you're going to want to repeat that moment over and over and over again. Drugs as well. I mean, people can go out and go out to a party and have an experience of the substance, and all of a sudden they want to create that same experience again. So what happens really is, in the shadows of our addiction, basically a craving in our mind to recreate a moment. And what we don't really understand when we fall into addiction is things are always going to normalize in the mind. If we've, for example, being in the military, if you're going out in the fields, maybe it's a very traumatic, shocking kind of experience the first maybe 5, 6 months you're out there, but after a long time of being in that environment or being in those environments over and over again, things start to normalize and they're no longer shocking, or they're no longer as shocking as they were initially. It's the same thing with pleasurable experiences. If we have a constant experience over and over and over again, then it loses the magic because it just becomes normal. The mind is very plastic and it adapts to situations and scenarios, and it quickly normalizes things. So with our addiction, it starts out as a magical, wonderful, pleasurable experience. Then it becomes entertainment, and then it becomes basically the norm, and then it becomes a standard, and then we can't live without it. Like cigarettes, for example. I used to serve in the military with a lot of guys who couldn't go a few hours without a cigarette. And the thing is, when we try to fight our addictions, we always focus on the vice. Like, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop smoking. I need to stop gambling. I need to stop online dating, or I need to stop whatever it is that our vices get, whatever, like shopping, whatever, it can be anything. You stop comfort eating. If we're only focusing on the act or the vice, but not the driving forces behind it, we're usually going to lose. And the reason why is because our habit and our desire to escape ourselves is stronger than the vibration that we're replacing it with. So, one of the key things to conquer addiction is to basically realize that you're using a substance or a vibration to replace what you feel inside. If you do not go inside yourself and address the things that are already there, if you do not go inside yourself and free yourself from the old stagnant traumas and the old stagnant emotions that are driving you to want to escape yourself by using whatever vice you use, then simply focusing on the act will probably not cut the mustard, and you're probably going to fall back into a pattern that you started with. So one of the most important things in doing this is mindfulness. We need to be able to fight our urges to basically automatically react into wanting to use our vice. A lot of times when I was in the military, as an example of this, anytime someone would have a stressful experience, their automatic habitual response would be, I need to have a cigarette. I need to have a drink. I need a cup of coffee. We need to fight that. And the way that we can do that is through mindfulness. First is observation of the mind, and developing the ability to separate from our reactionary mind. The second step would be to find out what it is that's causing this vibration within us, and find the vibration itself and release it. We can release it through breathing exercises. You can do it through different meditation. There's a whole lot of natural tools to do this. But I think the most important thing we need to realize, and I don't want to make this video too long because I've been going for about 4 minutes now, is that addictions are always going to start with our attempts to escape ourselves. And whatever vice we use is just a vehicle. So whenever we stop running from ourselves, whenever we stop trying to run away from what we feel inside, and whenever we are able to face ourselves, we can free ourselves from the things that are causing us to run away. And then we can start enjoying life in our natural state of how we are. I hope this helps you. I hope this word or this message I have is relevant to you. If you agree with what I have to say, it resonates with you, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.